I was off on vacation / holidays, and now I'm back. From now on, we're going to have those sessions as before on a weekly basis. Every about 5 weeks, I'm taking a week off, and we'll continue the process. Before we start the session, I just want to show you something that I was dealing with, and I think it's something cool that everybody can learn from it. Let's go here. Okay, so we were trying to create a nice proposals for clients. So instead of just giving a proposal with line items, this one cost that, just to have something nicer. And we tried to do it with a mail merge, which is Zoho sheet. It didn't work well. So the design is relatively poor, and that's after, by the way, that the designer was involved. So we invested some money with a good designer, but the tool itself is just not good enough. And you can see this is a mediocre result. So it's not great. And eventually, after putting lots of time trying to create this estimate, I just shifted and I tried to do it using PandaDocs. I checked PandaDocs, Proposally, Clear, something like that. I checked multiple options, and eventually I went with PandaDocs. It's still not live, but first of all, you can see that in terms of the design, comparing Zoho sheet and PandaDocs, completely different product. This is something that I want to buy versus this one, something that, okay, it's not great. So I like it much more. The design abilities here are much better. And also, for example, let's say that we have here, let's say packages, you can have here those check marks that someone is getting it, and he can actually purchase the from PandaDocs. Awesome. And it's also integrated with Zoho. So you can see, for example, deal proposal details. This is a variable that's coming from Zoho. So there is a way to also make it nicer, and also a way to integrate with Zoho. So I think it's a winner. We're still working on it. It's not finalized, but just an interesting thing that I wanted to share with you. Next week, we're supposed to have in the session, we're supposed to talk about widgets. Lately, we got involved with crazy widgets in Zoho CRM, and next week we'll give you a demo of one of them. So also very, very cool. Okay, so let me change the view to Zoho 1. Very good. And we are open for business. Guys, shoot questions. And okay. So, Leland, your mic is open.
Hi, can you hear me?
How are you, sir?
Well, I have been enduring. I have my assistant on the line with me, and we have Zoho CRM Plus. And we are trying to find a way to run calculations of return on investment. And the way that we have our setup right now is we have all of our customers in Zoho CRM Plus as contacts. And then within the contact, we've put a sub form. And in that sub form, we have basically the amount of commissions that we've made over time. So we make commissions over time off of our clients. And that has all been going into our sub form. We also put down the source of the contact, which is typically a vendor. So what we have is we have a subform for a client in contacts with the date and the amounts that we've made, and then we total it up at the end of the subform. And then we have the source of the client, whether it's XYZ company sold us a batch of leads, and then we convert those to clients. And so then we have another contact that is XYZ leads, and we put down in their subform on the dates and times that we purchase batches of leads. So we've been trying to find a way to calculate return on investment because we have all the pieces in Zoho, and Zoho says, oh, go to analytics, go to Zoho Analytics, and you can do it, but they're not able to run calculations. So we're kind of at a loss as to how do we run return on investment to figure out which vendors are getting us the best return.
Few options. Option number one, you can use Zoho Books. Let me show you exactly where. We'll give you two options.
Okay.
You can create for each one of those deals, you can create a project. Okay, and the project will be 20 licenses for ABC, whatever it is. Select the client. Maybe it's per project, because for you it's a commission deal.
Correct.
And let's say the cost 0. Cost amount. Okay. You see here this table?
Yes.
Whenever you assign invoices, the invoices will trigger the income, and you will see it a blue line. Whenever you will have expenses against the project, which means buying the list or paying vendors, those will be yellow lines. And here you can see the cost, here you can see the revenue, and that's probably the easiest way to calculate profitability of a project. So that's option number one. Is that clear?
We are not on Zoho Books at this time with Zoho CRM Plus. I don't think that's giving us Zoho Books, but correct me if I'm wrong, Liar.
No problem. And do you have Zoho Analytics?
We have Zoho Analytics, and they recommended that, and we have not been able to get a calculation off Zoho Analytics.
Yeah, in Analytics you can calculate. You can do lots of cool stuff with it. Let me check. I don't think that you can do subforms in the regular reporting module. Let me check it for you. Maybe I'm wrong. So we have here a subform. I'm running on the opportunities. The name was estimates. I think the grand total. Okay, so I'm trying to see. So the grand total is available in the report. But I want to see if those values, because you need to do it per date, right? Because you need all the information from the subform.
Yeah, and I don't know if we're doing this, if subform is really the horse I should ride, but what we have is we have vendors that we go to buy leads, and we buy many times from the same vendors. And what I like to be able to do is see, okay, for the month of August of 2021, how was my return on investment from vendor X, Y, or Z versus, month of, June, how did I do with the leads that I purchased from vendor X, Y, Z? So even though I have one contact inside of my CRM, I've got many purchases from the same vendor. And sometimes the vendor does wonderfully, and sometimes the vendor doesn't do wonderfully with us. So we want to not only see based off the vendor, but based off the individual purchase that we buy for leads from a vendor.
The way that it should be, look, the CRM by default is a system that you're selling. It's a sales tool. So the opportunity or the contact supposed to trigger an account, which means money that you're receiving. In your case, you're selling and receiving, and you want to measure it in the same place, right?
Correct.
I would create, if you can do it with a subform, no problem. We had lots of projects with subforms, and using Zoho Analytics, we did it. The problem is that you probably want to do it yourself, and you don't want to involve developers, right?
Well, at this point, I might, because it's been so tough. It's been very tough for us to do this.
So if you're involving a developer, stay with the subform. No reason to change it. And Zoho Analytics business guy can grab everything and produce reports and whatever you want. If you want to do it yourself, you probably will need to shift from subform and do it with opportunities. And in the opportunity, you will have a section. One section will be, let's say, money out, because you're buying it from the vendor, and you will have the details, and also money in, and that will be when you're selling it. And then you can probably take those and make something with them. But those are your two options: subform with a developer, and subform is fair. It's a good technique when you're using in and out in the same opportunity. So it's fine, no problem.
Okay. If I use opportunities, does that mean that I need to separate every single transaction out across, like, going
So
back
you have
to my
multiple
example?
transactions.
Correct. Yeah. So I think what you're saying is that I use opportunities, then instead of having all the subform, I would have everything separate out. Whereas right now I have
Stay
it all
with
together.
subform.
Yeah.
If I thought it's just you're buying a list, you're selling the list. But if it's multiple transactions, stay with the subform. Just get someone to help you with it, and that's it.
Okay. Okay. So a developer will be needed for subform.
I think so. Yeah, I wouldn't try to do it myself, because I think you're already spending lots of time on it, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Thank you.
take someone that already had the pain and was able to solve it.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Okay. Mr. Daniel. Mr. Daniel, your mic is on. You have a few questions, my friend. Let's see how we...
Hi, Layo.
How are you, sir?
I'm fine. Here now the temperature in Spain is now much better. Not so hot anymore.
Good.
And now we have time again for the Zoho things. Not only beach, huh?
Awesome. So the winter is starting. So soon you will have some cold weather there.
No, this is in February. This is okay. Yeah, I just had one little question. I love Zoho Forms, and it's very easy to configure. But sometimes I want, if the customer takes choice, I want to assign it to employee 1, and if it takes other choice, I want to assign employee 2.
Okay.
And out of the box,
problem.
No problem.
Easy. It's all easy. So let's say that we go here. We have here some kind. What is the use case for you? What is the based on what you're making a decision?
Let's say we make these radio buttons, and client choose I'm interested in product A, and the second choice is product B. And if it's product B, then it's employee A or employee B.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have this form. We need also the product. It won't let me. Let's do product test. So the system will let me do it. We'll go to my Zoho CRM. We'll create a new field. That's going to which module?
Leads.
Done. And I am going to create the same field that I created here, product test. So also going to be created here. And I will have A, B, and C. Until here, we're good? Perfect. Good. Now, let's say that I will create the integration. The integration will be with the CRM. And you know how to do the integration, right?
This is fine. This works easily.
Everything is easy when you know it.
When you know it, yeah.
Okay, let's just put something here. It doesn't matter. I just need this one field. That will be, what was the name? Oh, product test. So you do the integration, whatever it is, and then you have the product test. Yes? Okay. So I will fill the form. Okay. I will have the form here. I will select B, and then it's supposed to go to a specific, it's supposed to be assigned to a specific employee, right? Good. In the CRM, we'll need to create a small workflow.
Amigo.
The idea of the workflow is when we receive the information, we're saying when a record is created, right? Because a new lead is going to be created. And product test is A, then assign owner.
Okay.
That will be this guy.
Okay.
Now, if makes sense?
And so, yeah.
This is how you can do it like that. If you have lots of users, you can create a custom function. You can create an intermediary module. So we can create a new module. The module will have a relationship it will have here the user, and it will have here the product. And that's for something much more robust. Let's say I have 50 sales agents. Okay, and then the idea is that in this module that I created, I will have here the user Lior is for product A. Okay. And then eventually here you will have a bunch of different products. Where is my product? Yeah. So you will have user product, user product, user product. And then there is a script that's running. And when it's saying, okay, it's product A, it will look at this module and it will assign the correct user based on the product.
Okay.
Okay. So you have two options to do it.
Great. Okay.
Is that answering the question?
Yeah, it's answering the question. Yeah, I was looking for something out of the box from Zoho Forms, but you have think different to get the turnaround.
You need to be, with Zoho, lots of the times you need to be creative with the solution, because if you just try to check out of the box, it will not work. Just small variations and it works.
I have just a second question, if I may.
Yeah.
I love also in the Zoho CRM this mail merge function. I prepare some products, offers with this and Word documents. And I want now the same for Excel. But I did look and research a lot in the internet and tried some applications, but nothing worked. So I just want to populate the data from the CRM into Excel. Then I want to download the Excel, and then I want to play with the Excel for my internal reasons.
Not sure I understand.
Not sure?
No, can you repeat?
Okay, I have an Excel template.
You have Excel, you have a CSV or Excel.
Yes.
Okay.
And there I have some formulas.
Okay.
I want to play around with some ratios and some things. But I want the CRM to fill in, to populate this Excel. I have no idea.
Yeah, so you have one option and you will need a developer for it. The idea is that you create a Zoho sheet, and that's I assume for each record you will have its own template, right?
I want to have a general template, and then
like the master template, and then every record can use the same master template. Yes. So that can be done like that. So you create here your master template with all the calculations. For example, here there will be some records that need to be pulled from the opportunity, for example. And here you will have the different calculations, right? You will need a developer for it. The developer will need to create basically a Zoho sheet for each opportunity based on the template, and it will need to inject the information to the different cells in the Excel based on the opportunity. So that's doable, but you will not be able to do it without heavy code. So there is some work that needs to be done on that. You won't be able to do it.
Okay. Yeah, I was seeing this. It's not not possible yet.
No, it's possible with code, but it's not possible, just do it yourself.
Okay. It's curious because with the Word documents, with the mail merge, it works so easily, and it looks like then you can do it also with Excel, but not.
No, the mail merge also works in a different way. It's when it's merged, it's just a dummy document. What you're trying to do is to inject it into Excel in specific places and then receive get the formula going. So again, doable with developer, not by yourself.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, my friend. Have a beautiful
Yes.
day.
Have a beautiful day.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. We have a question from Gabriel. Gabriel, let me open your mic, Gabriel. Yep, your mic is open.
Hi, sir.
Hello, how are you, Gabriel?
Hi, sir.
Everything's good? Hello, hello, Gabriel.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, sorry. Just give me a minute. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Sorry. Can you hear me now? I suppose you can hear me now.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Thanks so much for advising. Right. So basically, I'm from in real estate sales. So I just wanted to know more about how we can use. How you use Zoho for your. In your platform to manage this business.
To manage real estate?
Yeah.
We started the journey long ago, and the journey was to create a unified system for real estate agents, and it didn't really work well. So
Okay.
After doing few hundreds of CRM for real estate agents, I can tell you that every agent has his own way to run the business. Let me try to log into the system. Yeah, and we spend significant amount of money trying to mainstream and make it as easy as possible for agents. Didn't
see.
work. And by the way, it's also correct for any other industry.
I see. But is there a brief use case or a one that you have built such that we can just a framework rather that we can have a look and probably
Look, we have here a product. It's the real estate CRM for real estate agents. I don't recommend you buying it. It's a good product, but you always need to make changes on the product. It doesn't make sense. This is the system.
I see.
So the system works with, you have the contact, you have the leads, commercial clients, in case that you have any, you have opportunities. The problem starting with us, for example, determining what will be your stages. Now, we have some clients that they will have 60 stages on the deal, and those will be with a blueprint, which means it's a step-by-step approach.
Yeah.
Some of them wants to have only 2. Representation agreement, and I closed it. So it's changing so much. Also in terms of the fields. Those fields, the building type, maybe I don't want to have duplex, triplex, it's not my area. So when we're getting those deals that we're selling a product that we think is the best for everyone, we're going into a situation that everybody needs something else. We're coming as a company, we're coming with the understanding that the CRM need to be 100% matching the personality and the way that the business is operating. If I will bring a CRM and I will try to force you using it, it's probably better that you will not use any CRM and just stay with your Excel. And that's what we saw, right? Right now, most of the clients that's coming to us, we will create for them a flow chart of their business and only then we're going to create a custom CRM for them. So this approach of the products,
Okay.
we're not doing it anymore. Again, some people buying those products, but we recommend not to do it. It's a waste of money.
Okay. Sure. Got it. Thanks so much once again.
No problem, Gabriel.
Take care.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Okay, Laura. Let me open your mic, Laura. Okay, mic is open.
Hello, this is Laura in Florida. How are you, Lior?
Oh, hello, Laura from Florida. We just opened an
Yes.
office in Florida, in West Palm
Did
Beach.
you? Oh, nice area to open. We're in Fort
Yes.
Myers.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So as you see, we're called Rent Fix Property Management. It's kind of a concierge boutique style of property management. We have buyers, we have sellers, we have investors, we have property owners for rent by owner. And in CRM, we wanted to classify them differently because there's always different types of questions that you would ask a buyer that you would not ask a seller.
Right?
We don't know how to do that.
Okay. And how do you get your leads?
The leads, they come in from the website. Then we have certain other outside sources that bring the leads in, and then we enter them in as a contact and then as the lead. And then they move into what you call opportunities. We call it deals.
Okay. So the lead will be the beginning stage. When
That's
it's
right.
mature and you think that there is business here, you're converting to a deal in the contact.
Right.
Awesome. First of all, in the lead, do you have some kind of a select box that is saying if it's rent or sell or the type of the deal?
I believe so, yes. But we want to add, of course, more because there's more than just buyer, seller, or landlord.
No problem. So
Okay.
that will be step number one.
The lead type. All right.
Step number two will be in the opportunity, and that's the important part.
Which would be deals for us. All right.
You will have different pipelines in the
Mhm.
deals. So a buyer and the seller will be very much different.
Right.
And each one of them will have different stages.
Ah, okay.
Okay. And the magic is happening from here, from the pipelines.
Pipelines. Okay. Pipelines.
Okay.
All right. So that's how you would classify them and reduce the amount of buttons that would be otherwise populated by everything in there. Because the buyer doesn't
yes
have
and
the
no.
same questions. Oh,
Yes and no. I will try not to make this next explanation complicated, but
okay.
I will just try. Natively, Zoho is coming with a layout system. Do you know what is the layout system?
No.
So it's going to be complicated. Sorry.
I learn quickly though, so might work out well.
So you have here the way that the module is presented to you, and this is the layout.
Okay.
Zoho is giving you the ability to design different fields based on a layout. So you can click on new layout and create something else.
You can put your own fields in if it's an investor.
That's
and
right.
so on and so forth. Good. Perfect.
No, not good.
Ah.
So if you do that,
Mhm.
your system is becoming very complicated to operate. Okay. If you want to do it in a different way, you can use the layout rules.
Okay,
And
so layout.
the layout rules you can create, for example, based on the pipeline or based on other thing. You're basically saying if the pipeline or if this is a deal type that is buyer,
Mhm.
show the section buyer.
Mhm.
So you can either show different sections based on a pick list selection.
Okay.
Is that making sense?
Yes. So layout rules
was easy.
instead. Mhm.
So it was easy.
Not that bad.
So this is the trick to bypass the layouts. I don't like to use layouts.
Mhm. So this can help you to subcategorize or just put in different fields that belong to each type of client.
Yes, you will have some fields that those will be for everyone. For example, opportunity detail, opportunity name, commission
Well, yeah,
amount.
but you'd probably have that one way or the other.
Exactly, and follow up. But some of them, for example, property details for buyer. Obviously, I don't need it for the seller,
No, of course not.
right? So I will show this section only if it's a buy deal.
Mhm. Okay,
And that's something that is very, very useful.
that is, it's actually what the boss is looking for.
If the boss wants,
The boss wants, boss
we'll give it
gets.
to him.
You've
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
And the other question I had is, I love your tutorial on Canvas and I've been using
Thank
it.
you.
But what happens is if I go into my, let's say my deals, and I click on one of my clients,
Yes.
all of a sudden a woman's picture shows up. That was the last actually Canvas deal that I worked on. I'd like it to default just to standard view. So I don't always have like a woman's face come up when I have John Wanamacher. And I have to go in and select then the one I want. But if I'm just taking a new one to create in Canvas, it should automatically default to standard view.
You go to settings,
Okay,
and then you go to the canvas view.
Canvas, yep.
Okay. Let's create one.
See, I already have under the create, I have the names of the ones I've already created, but somehow it defaults to the first one I created each time I click on a deal.
Yeah, we'll show you. So we need to select that. Good. Good. Now, in the Canvas assignment, you can select how to do it.
Okay.
So you're selecting which canvas or which view every person will see. So for example,
Okay.
here the administrator
Mm-hmm.
will see the standard view, while the salesperson will see this XX that I just created.
Okay.
Okay, and this is how you control it.
Right. But it seems when I go into the Canvas assignment, it just gives me the names. I can do standard or then I have real estate. But when I just have those two. I don't have the other options. But when I go just to, for example, my opportunities and I click on a client, it defaults back to whichever, but like Paul McCartney right now, this one, it would populate that even though it's another client.
And here in the assignment, whatever profile that you are on,
right,
you do not see different ones.
Right. I only see that one. And then I have to go and change it to standard view at the bottom of the opportunities page.
No, not sure. Not sure. Very difficult without seeing it. Just give a call to Zoho support and
I'll do that. Yeah. And the third one is if we have someone who is a deal, she looked at a house, but then she doesn't like it. How do we get rid of her and put her into lost deal?
So when you're running your deals, I personally love to work with blueprints.
Yeah, we have a blueprint.
Yep. So one of the buttons is supposed to be lost. And when you click on lost, it's supposed to ask you, okay, why it was lost. And later on, you can report on why leads were lost.
Oh, okay. So where did you find this again? It was under
That's in the blueprint section.
Blueprint section. Okay.
If you have my course, it will be on lesson 14 or 13. We have exactly what we're talking about.
Okay, I'll look
right
at
now.
that. Perfect. You answered all my questions. Thank you so much.
No problem. Have a beautiful day.
You do the same. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Mr. Mark, let's open your mic.
Isaac, can you hear me?
Hello, Mark. How are you, sir?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm going crazy learning this platform, but I love it. I'll tell you that.
It's awesome.
Oh gosh, if I had this when I started my asphalt paving company back in 2000, oh my gosh, it'd be a different story today. Anyhow,
Yeah.
I'm actually building a platform for a concrete and landscaping company here in Houston, Texas.
Okay.
And I've been diving in for this for about a week and a half, and I'm actually going to be presenting it to the owner at 4 o'clock today. And I've got a couple of his projects that I'm inputting, but I want to import the data from their Excel spreadsheets, but they have a whole bunch of links from page to page. I've got an email ready to send to you that I can, so you can take a look at it if that would help.
When you're saying you have multiple CSVs that are connecting to each other from a previous system, I assume.
Yeah, it's an Excel spreadsheet that has multiple modules within inside Excel that link pages, you know, like the customer name, when you go to the first page of it, is linked throughout the whole project. And so I'm trying to import the data so that it reads it, you know, correctly, but I'm getting a whole bunch of errors because of all of these connections and stuff.
1 second. You have here the Excel, right? Whatever it is.
Yes.
From my understanding, and that's the common thing that people ask for, you have here the contacts, you have something like deals, and they need to connect together. But the problem is all the information is in one sheet. Is that what you have?
Yeah, in one sheet and then different modules, I guess, within Excel. I mean, is that right? I mean, I'm not sure what you call that, but.
Yes, yes. So this is a little bit more complicated. If you have my course, it will be lesson number 9. It's import the data. If you don't have it, I will tell you the direction.
Okay, lesson what?
It's lesson 9.
9, okay.
Import data and backup data, something like that.
Yeah, I believe I looked at that, but you know, when it comes to this importing stuff, I'm a rookie big time.
It's not easy. It's not easy.
No.
So it's not fun to import data. It's hours. I don't know if you will be ready for 4, but I will try to be quick. So maybe
let me ask you this real quick then. Should I just start manually inputting the data then?
How much data do you have?
I've got about 20 clients that have an Excel spreadsheet, and then some clients have multiple projects. So
how many projects is the maximum?
How many projects? Right now, I'd say probably around 35, 40.
Nah. This is what you need to do. Let's open Work Drive. If you do it like that, it will be fine.
Okay.
So this is the Excel. Okay, you have first name, you have the last name, you have project name, right?
Sure, yeah.
It's all mixed up. Account name, whatever.
Right.
But you take this Excel and you split it to multiple Excels.
Ah, okay.
So now those tabs, phone number, email, whatever, anything that's related to the contact, you grab it and you create a new Excel from it.
Okay, that's what I started doing. So
Good.
Okay.
The next one will be for projects. So eventually you will have multiple of them.
Right.
Now, the trick and the problem that you will have, you need to link them when you do the import.
Mm.
And the way to do it, we'll do it right now on project name, and let's say project number, project URL. Okay. I'm taking those, and those will be my contacts. And I'm grabbing that, and those will be my projects. Okay, so I have contacts and they have projects.
Gotcha.
The problem that you will have, you have here the name. You have here
Hey, I don't mind spelling.
I need to be organized.
Gotcha.
Otherwise, my brain cannot function. Okay. We need a different name. Oh, good. So we have Leo, Bob, and Joe. Those are 3 clients.
Okay.
And you have your project ABC.
Right.
The problem you need to now to link them. So on the contacts, you're creating some kind of incrementing number. It doesn't matter what the number will be. It needs to be unique for each one of them.
Okay.
And I will call it record ID.
Okay.
Fine.
Got it.
In projects, one of them will be contact ID.
Okay.
So both of them belong to Leo and the next one is Bob.
Gotcha.
When you do the import in Zoho CRM, let me just dump it. And when you import, just make sure you're on CSV.
Okay.
You go here, you don't import it from the contacts.
Okay.
You go to settings,
Okay.
you go, excuse me,
Yeah, I got you.
import. You go to other CRM.
Okay.
And here you import
Your 2 files.
all the files.
They're all the files, right?
You go next. It takes some time to run it. And then there will be a linking module that will ask you, okay, so with projects, what is the project ID? And then the contact is where it's coming handy. Okay?
I think I got that. Yeah. Now, am I able to watch this video again?
Yes, but not until 4. I need to edit. It takes time.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that won't be until 4, my friend. What I just did here, it's also on this lesson.
Well, let me ask you this real quick then. Just to be able to show him this platform and how it works, should I just manually input this stuff? Because I got a meeting with him at 4 o'clock today.
Punch in some records, 2-3 records manually.
Yeah.
The proof of concept is not about the real data.
Right. But I want him to see his actual project in motion within the platform, how it just shows linking
A few of them.
everybody in the within the, everybody that's managing the project is all up to date. I mean, these guys are so unorganized when it comes to just communicating. It's insane. I kind of wonder how he's running his business, but that's what I'm really, focused on, is trying to get them to be more communicative with one another to make sure that we can get things done on time, keep customers happy, and so forth.
If you want to be ready, you need to have, for each one of those, you need to have a record ID. Here it will be also another record ID. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So every CSV will have its own record ID. Whenever you import, you will need to link the right projects or right opportunities to the right people. So,
Right.
And then you do the import, and then it fails, and then you do it again, and data is not great, and you undo. It takes time. Data is not fun.
No.
This is why, people don't really do so much migrations, because it's very, very painful.
Okay.
But once you do, you have a nice system.
Right. Yeah, because all the other ones I'm going to want to import. I don't want to be doing, I mean, I won't do it. I'll get an assistant to import if we have to. And like I told him, we're not getting rid of his current production and everything. We're going to run these side by side, and it's probably going to take a good 6 months before we merge over to this platform.
Sure. How many people in the company?
In the office, there's 9 of us.
Okay, so look, if you have someone that can just enter data,
Right.
give it to him. If not, this is the way, my friend. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Have a beautiful day.
You as well.
Bye-bye. Okay, Mr. Bo, let me open your mic.
Hey,
Hello?
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you today?
I'm doing great, man. Sorry, I'm in a cafe bar in Croatia.
All
so it's
good.
kind of loud.
No problem.
Is this okay?
Yeah, perfect.
All right, awesome. Hey, so it's been a long time since we chatted, but one of the recent things I've been trying to solve is how to bring specific records, and it can be anything. It can be a deal, it can be a case, task, because I also, like you, use a external module for my task because I don't like the task module. And I want to bring those to attention, and I kept trying to figure out how to do it with the review process or approvals, but I thought both of them weren't working quite well.
So you're trying to work with the review process?
I tried the review process, but I couldn't quite make it how I wanted it. I wanted it to be based off, let's say, a date.
But what is the goal? What you're trying to achieve?
Okay, so let's say a property is, we need to follow up the property. I would like it to show up easily, not get mixed in with everything else. So if it goes straight to my jobs, because I would love to use it if I can, it would just show up there. So I would see properties that are late. I would see HOAs that need to get paid. So then the manager who's managing all those things can see every little item that needs to be tackled. Does that make sense?
Yes, I would do it using a view, probably. So let's say that I have multiple opportunities, and in those opportunities, there will be a specific stage that I need to review. So let's say that if it's in showings or representation agreement, whatever it is, this is where I will need to start checking the records. And here, I will just have the records that I need to review. And whenever I finish, I will just change the stage of the record to the next one. But at least I will have one view with everything that is waiting for me. The review process can work, but it's just one more thing that you need to do, right? It's just time consuming.
Okay, so you think it'd be better just to go module by module for the to-do list instead of trying to merge it all into my jobs or something like that?
How many modules? Usually people work with 1 or 2 modules.
I try to keep as minimum as possible because that's just a good rule of thumb. But I have 5 to 10 modules that are slightly different things, and it gets complex. So I'm trying to keep it so then my manager doesn't have to keep hopping between each one. It'd be great if he had a kind of a catch-all module just to see these records, which is why my jobs was intriguing to me.
If you're running across multiple modules, probably the review process or the approval process will work for you. But usually it's architectural problem. Usually the architecture of the system need to be correct, and you're not supposed to have too many modules. it's not really how it should be.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. But I mean, it's a lot of this data was so different and needed different processes, different blueprints, that I unfortunately kind of had to make separate models. I was running out of date
Okay.
fields and all this other stuff. So I think I scaled it fairly well. But I think, yeah, I think we're just gonna have to keep going down each particular one. Yeah, I was hoping that there would be some further insight. The review process, I think, is based off of, wow, it's been just a day or two since I looked at this. The approval process is based off of creation, and the review is based off of edit or creation.
You mean what is the trigger for them?
Yeah, so specifically, I was trying to like make a,
It's
okay,
also a
if we need to,
change.
yeah, if I was saying we need to update it, if this date field has expired, you know, it was yesterday, it would pop up on the review process, but I don't think that's possible.
We are 3 minutes before we need to close here. I'm not sure I will have time to play with it, but you know, check it out. Talk to Zoho support. Not supposed to be a problem. I played with the review process. I never saw it with a client on a live system because no one is that I know using it. But just play with it, and if it doesn't work, maybe next week, you know, we can talk about it before we run into all those questions, so we can spend some time on it.
That sounds good. I'll look into it and we'll see what we can find out.
Okay, Bo. Perfect.
Awesome,
Have fun in your trip.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. All right.
Thanks. Okay, guys. We're closing for today. Thank you very, very much for joining me today. I will see you next week. Bye-bye.